We've got a special guest today. This is this little boy, the little boy you're looking at right here, his grandpa. His grandpa who wanted to know where he was, wanted to see him, but was given every excuse in the world. Ed Ramsey, thank you for joining us tonight. I first want to ask you, what were you told when you said, I want to see my grandson, I want to see Jonathan?
Numerous reasons or excuses, including that he was with the Boy Scout outing. He had school activities he was tied up with. He was with family, Elizabeth's family, many different reasons or excuses.
And so how long was it before you realized something isn't right here and you called police?
The first time that I tried to have contact with him probably was in mid to late January of 2011, after they had left Ennis to move to Dallas. And the last time that I tried to make contact was in March 2012, and various times throughout the year. But
so you are the one that called police to report that something is not right here, and it went from there. Everyone, we've got a very special guest also today who is the prosecutor on this case. Aaron Price is joining us from the Dallas County District Attorney's Office in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much. This must have been a very difficult case for you to learn the evidence on, to prosecute. But I want to ask you, how did the case first come into your hands? Was it because of the call the grandfather made?
Absolutely, because Jonathan's grandfather was tired of accepting the excuses. The Dallas Police Department received his call and started the investigation from there.
So where was this little boy's body found?
He was found essentially on the side of the road, but in a creek in a rural part of another county.
And when he was found, was there any tissue left for DNA analysis? Was it just skeletal remains?
Sadly, there was DNA analysis performed, but it was not from a tissue sample. We basically were able to recover his skeleton.
So you could never determine a cause of death then, your medical examiner?
The medical examiner was able to call the cause of death a homicide by considering the confessions that the Dallas Police Department obtained from both the mother and the stepfather. And so using that information, the evidence that they recovered in the skeleton was consistent, but basically there were no medical findings.
And, of course, the stepmother and father, biological father, by the way, said that they starved him to death. Here's the question that everybody wants to know, Ms. Price. What was the motive here? Why? Because I don't know if you believe or not that this little boy hit her stomach and so she had to have a miscarriage, right? So that was just a cop-out. Why did they want this little boy gone?
I don't know. I mean, I've prosecuted child abuse cases for a long time now, and I frequently say that the day I understand the why people do what they do to children is the day I need to find another job. I never know why.
Yeah.
And they both gave different reasons and different excuses, and, both of his caretakers, his father and his stepmother, could rarely tell the same story twice. Mm-hmm. So they gave different justifications for why this boy was tortured the way that he was. I suspect we will really never know the reason why.
And I guess in the broad sense, we can say they didn't want this little boy to live. They didn't want this little boy